You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Man Aoniro Trello. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
Welcome to Gate 7 International, your official English source for all things Olympiacos. My name is Peter. I'm here with all 3 of my co-hosts today. It's a lovely day when we all wake up. We've got Ari, we've got Costa, we've got Lambro, and we've got Aek. We beat Aek 3-2. What an amazing team Aek are. My God, I think I could go walk outside, find the first 4 people on the street, and they would defend better than Aek's back line. We get the result. Aek's such a wonderful and big team. Our Pelates, as always, folks. We do it again. El Arabi does it again. He always loves the game against Aek. So, folks, what do we have to say? Chat, get in on this here. What do we have to talk about? We're back from international break. We come back with 3 goals. What do we think, people? What do we think?
Feeling good.
Yeah, great game. Great game from El Arabi tonight, the killer. And yeah, should we mention as well, or do we need to do an ad read, I guess? Do we? I don't know. What the hell? It's been so long. I'm like washed up, you know.
The rust is coming in for Lambro here. We can get some ad reads going, I suppose. Although actually I think Adi, I'll let you go into this because I think we have some news about Olympiacos DC, if I'm not mistaken.
We do. I brought up ahead of the interview last weekend with Dudu that Olympiacos DC had the division finals, their second straight division finals in their second straight season in UPSL, 4th division American soccer. Unfortunately, it was a tough loss. The boys went up 1-0 in the first half, and they ended up losing 2-1. So it was a really tough loss. I watched the game right after the interview. Heartbreaking stuff, but we're proud. We're proud of the boys because in the first year of existence, they made it to 2 back-to-back division finals in UPSL. They played their hearts out. They built a wonderful thing there in just a year of existence. So we're proud of them. We look forward to seeing what they're going to do next season. And in the winter break, we're going to have a couple of the players on for an interview and so that the audience can have a listen.
Philip's at the wheel, baby. In Philip we trust, as always. We keep on dreaming in DC and the DMV. Big results coming soon for Olympiacos DC.
We hope.
Hell yeah. But anyway, let's get to the deal.
The B team. Huge victory yesterday. 1-0. Larissa, one of the better teams in the 2nd division. Olympiacos B have 6 points from 2 matches, people. Big result.
Okay. That was a big result. I watched a bit of it, but we're not talking about that tonight. We just finished watching the match with Aek 2, Olympiacos 3, El Arabi with 2 big goals. Agibu opened the score up within the first minute. Olympiacos came with a 4-3-3 tonight. Kenny Lala started the normal back line. I would say this is the new normal back line. The midfield of the 2 Camaras, Jan and Villa, and ahead of them, Onyekuru, El Arabi, and Masuras. Game started off great, I would say, with Camara's goal. But then it seemed like we dropped, the typical behavior when a goal drops in. But yeah, I guess that's how we'll start. El Arabi was fantastic tonight. Man of the match for me, coming out and saying it. A lot of people were critical of El Arabi.
Still critical.
I never was. For me, the best striker Olympiacos has had, maybe ever. What a player. Anyway, that's it. Won us the game tonight. Anyway.
Costa, what were your thoughts on everything? Anything you want to say before we dive deep into this game here?
The win's a win. I've said before, I'm not happy with the team's performances this year, and that we've come to the end of a cycle, and I'm just waiting for this season to be over. It's nice to win. It's nice to win because we have a big game on Thursday as well, so it's good to get that confidence and take it into what's going to be really a big match against Fenerbahce. They're playing their last roll of the dice for Fener on Thursday. If they win, they have a chance of taking that second spot. If we win, we've all but secured it. So I think the most important thing today is the result, getting the win. Nice for El Arabi to get 2 goals, and yeah, we can dive into it more as the show goes on. We are going to be getting fans on the show tonight as well. It's the first time we're doing that. So yeah, guys, we will be dropping the link. We will be dropping a link in the chat. You can hit the link and we will let you in, or we won't let you in. But yeah, it's great to finally be doing this, letting the fans actively be part of the show. So stick around and yeah, let's just get into it.
And folks, while we're here as well, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Gate 7 International. We put out tons of content about Olympiacos. We're here after every game to discuss with you. We'll be here on Thursday for the Fenerbahce game. Of course, I won't be here, but everyone else will be here. Hit subscribe, guys. Hit like, tell your friends. Get everybody in right now. As Costa said, you've got a one-of-a-kind opportunity today to come on the show here. Talk with us about today's game. Talk with us about the team. Give us your 2 cents for a little bit while you're in here. So please make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a lot.
Yep. I think there are a lot of positives to take from this game. I actually agree with Lambro 100%. El Arabi is my man of the match for the game today as well. You can't score 2 goals and not be man of the match. We'll get into that more later. I still will say that I think that his hold-up play has dropped a level from last year to this year. I wholeheartedly believe that still, but he still was extremely important in his goal scoring ability today. The steal for the goal, I mean, for that third goal, it's tough work, but fantastic work from him. I'm really happy for it.
It's horrible work from the left back for
well,
what was
that's
his name? Like,
we'll get into has to be that said.
Too. Like that was just horrific. But anyway. Yeah, El Arabi, I agree with you, Adi. I mean, he's obviously, you have to give him, man of the match. Spoiler alert, he's going to be my man of the match today. But yeah, the hold-up play is not what we used to see, but I suppose he's still the finisher he's always been. So that's like honestly what this team really needs, because we get like 2 open play chances a game these days, and El Arabi has to put them away. He's the only one who can do it sometimes, it seems.
Yeah, I agree. I
agree.
Today I've been very critical of the team's performance since March of last year, and it's a lot of you know that. I kind of saw a lot of things going bad, but tonight I was very happy with the team. Some things were not so good, but when I want to remind people this was our first away derby with fans in a year and a half almost. There were 45,000 people reportedly at OAKA tonight. They had a strong atmosphere, and we went in and silenced them. And I don't know. I don't have a lot of people to pick on tonight. Personally, I think Vaclik was very poor tonight. I thought both goals were savable. Of course, the first one was shocking, but the second one was, a lot of people aren't talking about it, but that hand just like, boom, very soft goal from him. I think Jose Sa saves that goal. I don't know. I also, one last note, I'll be critical of one person. Henry Onyekuru was very poor again tonight. It seemed like we were playing with 10. And when he came off, a lot of us were very upset that it was for Bouchalakis. I will say this, Bouchalakis gave some much needed stability into the midfield. We weren't able to hold the ball through parts of that second half, and Bucharest came on, we held the ball, we moved the ball a bit. And Aek is a really small team. They always have been, but you can really tell like the mentality there is just shocking. And so you play with them a little bit when they're down and the floodgates open. They're one of those teams that is just a shit show. So like you can really pour it on them. It's just they'll always be like that, I think, because of the small team mentality they have. But I don't know. That's just my opinion.
They're one of Dudu's favorite pelates. Don't forget, guys.
No, but Aek is a very small team. Like we should say that. Like how many times have we beat them 6-0? Anyway, I'm sorry to the Aek fans.
They're all small team. Our league is shit, man. This is the level of our league.
Yeah, they're second in the table, man.
But can we talk about how everyone was saying Juba is like the second coming of Jesus Christ? He's like terrible. Did he even play tonight?
Juba gets into our team.
Levi Garcia tonight? Where was Levi Garcia subbed at halftime?
Guys, this is the level of our league, and this is the reason why we're crap.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we are not so good this year. That first goal coming in the first minute, it was one of those things where you're like, okay, are we going to see a performance tonight? After that, scoring a belter, like an absolute screamer in the first minute, and then you think, all right, strangle them, like press them high up the pitch, get a second in the next few minutes, like keep the pressure on. And what do? We do what we've been doing all season: start to sit back, wait, and then wait for the space to open and hit them on the counter. And that's the type of team that we are this year. We're not able to press high up the pitch effectively. As soon as they break, the opposition breaks a press, there's so much space in the midfield. You feel like Camara and Mvila are different players this season because Mvila was sick. He got COVID. He lost, people don't know this, Mvila lost a lot of weight when he was sick. And that's a problem for his body. He has to rebuild muscles. He's not the same player he was last year. And then Madi, we've talked about it before. We feel like his head's somewhere else. He's not performing at the peak of his ability. So you just feel like we're not that same team that we were that's able to strangle the opponent high up the pitch. We are literally, Olympiacos is best this year when we have space and when we can hit on the counter with pace. And that's what I think Martins is also hoping going into the Fenerbahce game. That's why on Yakuri played today, he's hoping to see him gain some rhythm. He's coming back from injury. Remember, Gary Rodriguez isn't eligible to play in Europa. Will he start on Thursday? Quite frankly, I don't know. We might go with that 4-3-3. I'm going far, guys, but before we talk about Fener, again, I want to say, mind the gap. We're 6 points clear of Aek now. We're 7 points clear of PAOK. We're not even halfway through the league, and the distance between first and second is already opening up, guys. The level of the league is really poor, and I feel like a lot of the foreign players that have been there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, some cases, like players like Cisse, they're fed up. They know that they can win these games in third gear, and we don't have to get out of third gear. And that's a problem when we go and play in Europe. That's when we concede goals in the 91st minute against Frankfurt. That's when we lose leads. That's when we get sloppy. So that has to be said.
You fucking listen when Costa talks, okay? Listen to this, like everything this man just said. Like I could not agree more. Like you know what my takeaway? Like obviously it was always fun. Like Adarabi scores a brace, Agibu scores a wonderful goal. It was all fun, but like my takeaway is like this is the second best team in the league. Holy hell. Like it's not even funny. Like I know Lambro was like having a laugh and it's like, oh yeah, yay. But like they're just like they're horrible. They're absolutely, this is the second best team in Greece and like horrible, absolutely horrible. The whole thing is just a mess. And like Costa said, none of the players like Cisse is, been here for all these years waiting for his move. He played in France last year. Mahdi wants his move, and he has to sit here and play week in and week out against the goddamn farmers at Aek and the farmers in Atromitos and the farmers in Ionikos, just to name a few. And none of these players have any motivation to step up and perform in these games. The players who maybe would be motivated to step up and perform, like Sourlis and Markovic, don't get a chance, but that's another discussion for another day. And then we come into Europe and we're unprepared, and we just look sloppy and lose. It is a Greek problem, not like in the like. It's a Greek federation. It's an EPO problem to me at the end of the day, and it's maybe also a bit of a Greek culture. Like each team just wants to see the other big teams fail, and they will like PAOK would rather see Olympiacos lose than see themselves win. Olympiacos would rather see Panathinaikos lose than themselves win sometimes. It goes all the way around. And this culture, you see it in the national team. It took so long for Otto Rehagel to eliminate that from the national team and win the Euros. And now it's back in the national team. It's back in the league. And Olympiacos have to sit here and play these crap games against crap teams. And like, my God, I just can't get over how bad Aek were. That is the main takeaway for me today.
I'm going to push back because I'm the only one here who I think is going to say something like, we just beat Aek away from home. I didn't think they were so shit. Like the worst team I've ever seen in the world. Like they're
the 13th worst team you've ever seen in the world.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think, okay, like Aek is nothing special, but as people said, like Levi Garcia, Juber, these players would come into Olympiacos' team. Madalos is all right, blah blah blah, whatever. But I just think it's a bit like ridiculous. How many derbies have we lost, or we drew 0-0 or 1-1? Like we beat Aek away in like a full OAKA. There's many nights in the past where better Olympiacos teams did not do that against similar level Aek teams. I'm just putting it out there. Like I think tonight was a big win, and it's a confidence booster, and we go into Fenerbahce with it all to play for. I think we need to. I saw a comment earlier saying we need to get behind the team. We need to support the team. Yes, we do. This next game on Thursday is huge, and they just won in a sold-out OAKA. Like they showed some balls tonight, and kudos to them.
Can I just address this point real quick? My buddy Panagiotis Exarchos from Athens. It's not that we're belittling the other teams. I think it is a fact that as I said, the level of the Greek league has gotten worse the last 2 years. I think if you look at the last few seasons, not last season, the season before when we won the league, we were playing against the PAOK team that Lucescu had built up before he left. And we enjoyed that one. We certainly enjoyed winning that league, very much so. Last season, okay, we ran away with the league from February. So what is there to talk about? And then this season, it looks like we're going to do it again, quite frankly. We're coming to the end of November. As I said, we've already made a difference of 7 points. So, that says a lot about the level of the league. We're not taking the piss. We're calling a spade a spade. That's what it is.
Yep.
Like we went away from home today and we beat them, not even coming out of third gear. Did we get into third gear? You could argue that. I asked the question.
No, I agree with you there. And I agree also with Lambro. I don't think Aek today was terrible, but a lot of things did fold out more or less kind of how we expected. You know what I mean? Like we expected playing away. Aek is pretty decent in possession. Their interplay I thought was better than ours when they had the ball at their feet. They had some good moments of possession that I wish we were more capable of doing. I believe we're capable of accomplishing some of those things, quick one-touch interplay, but unfortunately we didn't do it very often, and Aek did. Now, did it really amount to much? Not really, but that's the point. We know that we can get so much more out of this team. We know that our team has quality and can play to a higher standard. So when we see that we're playing as shit as a lot of the fans have complained that we've played this season, but we're still 6 points ahead in the league, it does say something. And that doesn't mean that we can't celebrate, the championship, or that we can't, because the other teams suck. It's just the reality of the situation. And it's frustrating in a way. But it is. We're the best team. We are the best team. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. We are the best team to where we can play like shit and still dominate the league. It's not negative. There is credit to be given to other teams, but this is just the way it is. We are the best team. We can play like shit and destroy this league. It's how it is, what it is. And you can still call a spade a spade. That's just it. It's honesty. And I don't, again, I'm not going to go as far as to say Aek are super shit. I thought they were competitive. They have some defensive woes for me, but I thought that they were competitive offensively. But we are the best team in this league. Statistically, theoretically, that's how it is. Plain and simple.
Guys, Fetanos is leading us perfectly here, I think. First of all, not 3,000 Fetanos, 4,000. It's the lawnmower Mark IV, okay? Manscaped.
4.0?
4.0, baby.
If you call it 4,000, it seems a lot nicer. So anyway, if you haven't heard, what Fetanos is alluding to here is that we support for Gate 7 International is being provided by Manscaped, the big brand. Currently, we have a discount code with them. As you can see on the screen here, if you're watching on video, it is G7INTL. That's G7INTL. This is limited time only, folks. You need to get on this right away, or else the discount code will expire. So you need to use it right now, and you will get 20% off with free shipping for anything on manscaped.com. The new Lawnmower 4.0 is the new big product that they're pushing out. This is the big banger. It's got precision. It fits in the tight spaces. And sources are saying El Arabi used the Lawnmower 4.0 today before scoring his goals. It just gives results. That's all I can say. Like it gives you a trimmer all to yourself. You don't have to use the same trimmer for your face and for below, which I think is a good thing. And it just gives you the tight spaces that you need down in those tight and precious areas. It's an excellent product. And in addition to the Lawnmower 4.0, they also have all sorts of other lotions, colognes, boxers, everything that you could ever want for the special area. So please come on over to manscaped.com. Use our discount code while you can. You've got to do it right now, folks. And yeah, it's going to be great, everybody. And Costa, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we've posted the link. So if you are a fan and you would like to come on, we're not going to let you sit here all day, folks, because we're going to have a big queue of people coming. But if you want to come on for a brief second, give your thoughts and sign off. We're starting to see a bit of a queue for people here. Make sure you have good internet as well. Otherwise, you're not going to sound so hot, but I think it'll probably be fine. Costa, shall we start letting people in?
Before we do that, I mean, we have a video to show for the Manscaped product. This product is perfectly safe, as Peter was saying, and we have a video that illustrates that, and we're going to play that right now. Stick around, hit the link, guys. We're going to start letting people in right after this short ad.
Support for Gate 7 International is brought to you by Manscaped, the champion in men's below-the-belt grooming. The Lawnmower 4.0 is precision engineered to trim your family jewels. But before we trust the lawnmower to our family jewels, we're going to test it on my buddy Ian's head right here. So let's see how this thing does. I think it passed the test. To get your own Lawnmower 4.0, go to Manscaped's website at www.manscaped.com and enter the code G7INTL for 20% off and free shipping. Frilos Padu.
For Roman Smirnidis, he said he was here for that haircut ad. So boom, just for you, buddy.
Big up Ian, who is now bald.
He's now bald, indeed.
Guys, limited time only. This is limited time.
Yeah.
End of November. You've got a week to get yourself your Lawnmower 4.0. By the way, the boxer shorts on manscaped.com are fantastic. The best boxer shorts I've ever worn. You can buy anything from their website with this code. And guys, they already have like something like 45% Christmas deal offer. So literally that's 45% plus 20% that we're giving you. So manscaped.com, just go and check it out after we're done. All right.
Your balls will thank you.
Your balls will thank you.
Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
First guest that I see here queued up is CJ Liaskos. What's up, my friend? Where are you calling from? Tell us your name.
Well, CJ is short for Constantine James, but I'm from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, very cool.
Good morning.
Yeah, so good morning. That's it. So we do wake up at all hours of the night to watch these games, and most of the time it's, at least in the league, pretty disappointing sometimes, but it is what it is.
Well, so happy you could be with us. Thank you for waking up early and sticking with it so that you could be part of the show. We really appreciate it. How'd you feel about the game today?
I think I'm more upset that we conceded the second goal because Sourlis' mistake was a bit stupid, but a bit mixed, to be honest. I don't think it was terrible, but it's still the same problems we've had over the last few weeks, or from the start of the season, really. You can tell that some players don't want to be there.
Let me ask you something, because you kind of brought up that it's a lot of the same things that we've seen going forward, and Costa brought up some context with how tactically we've been, the positions we've seen ourselves in. So in your opinion, based on kind of how we've seen Aek this season, did you think that Olympiacos employed a tactic or a strategy effectively, or was it more that Aek made mistakes and we capitalized on those mistakes to win?
I think both. But honestly, I think 2 seasons ago, if Aek had the team they had now, then it would have been 5 or 6-0.
Yeah,
we would have even them alive. That's probably where I'm stuck at the moment. But Aek are terrible this year, very bad. And the fact that we didn't go in there more hungry than we did. Well, not that we didn't go in hungry, but I was expecting us to win 4-0, maybe 4-1. Not concede 2 goals, that's for sure. But one problem that I'm constantly seeing, he's putting so much faith in Onyekuru and Ronnie Lopez. I think Vrosai needs to get in there. And I think it's time for I know this is off topic, but when I watched the game with Frankfurt, the one in Greece, it's so weird because I felt putting Valbuena on for Onyekuru was the mistake. Because Onyekuru then, I don't know what the hell got into him, but he was really good that game. And I'm a bit disappointed he hasn't carried that through.
It's because he had space. He had spaces during that game. But in the Greek league, he doesn't find the spaces. It's something that we talked about when Ari did the deep dive. It's like this guy, if he finds space and he's fit, he can attack the spaces and it causes problems with his pace. But when you're playing against teams in Greece and they're playing, park the bus in front of the goalkeeper, can't do anything. Like, he gets the ball at his feet. And there was one moment, I think, in towards the 65th minute or something, and got the ball on the left-hand side and he made a nice switch to the right. But that was the first time I think I saw him kind of get on the ball and pass it. Mm-hmm. I was like, he was practically invisible today otherwise. But I agree. Like, it's like, where's Vrosai? has Ronnie, like, I was surprised to see Ronnie Lopez come on today, and at one point I saw him pressing and kind of dispossessing one of the Aek players. I thought, who's that? Is that Ronnie Lopez? Like, what's going on? But Vrusai deserves more time, and that is frustrating me as well. So I agree with that point.
Yeah, I remember January at home against Aek. Was it against Aek? It was January 2021. It was the fresh new year and a closed OAKA. And Vrusai scored. Or was it December right before? I don't remember. It may have been December, but it was Christmas time last year. Vrusai scored a great goal against Aek. He's done it before in OAKA. I think we drew that game. But anyway, that's I don't love Vrusai as much. I'm like, I don't think he's anything special, to be honest with you, but I don't think...
Go back and look at the highlight reel from last year, Lambro, and change your mind. Before he got injured, he was our best winner. Nah.
Maybe I'll replay some of Lambro's audio clips from last year, too.
I call bullshit.
But listen to this. Listen. If Vrusai was given as many opportunities as Henry Onyekuru, would he do better than Henry Onyekuru? I would say yes.
Yeah, but that's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah,
that's the point we're making.
They paid €5 million for Henry Onyekuru, so they need something to happen with him, or else they're...
It's a sunk cost, man. It's the best use of that money is just to sit him on the bench at this point.
Well, yeah. But also, Peter, I think we have to get moving. We have more people waiting in the lobby. CJ,
thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you,
guys.
CJ.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye. All right.
Okay.
Let's get our next guy on, shall we? Who we got? We got Johnny. Is it Johnny Tsaboukas?
Boys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning from Melbourne. Another Aussie. Kalimera. How's it going, boys?
It's good.
Oh, it is. That's right. It is the morning. What are you? You're 14 hours, 16 hours ahead?
10.
I'm not sure. It's 8 a.m. here, or 8:15. But I just wanted to be quick because I know there's a lot of people waiting, but it was a great win. I have to agree with Costa. I don't think they got out of third gear at all. And I think it was more the fact that they were absorbing the pressure and looking to counter-attack. But I think I mentioned it in one of the comments earlier, in our group chat. Basically, when you've got a striker like El Arabi that has the composure that he does to take those chances, then that's what makes the difference in the end. And it just shows like they rely heavily on Araujo, and a couple of other teams rely heavily on strikers that don't take the chances when they come up. And we've got a striker like Tiquinho sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show that, yeah, he might be 34, El Arabi, but he still takes the chances when it counts in the big derbies. So for me, it was more the 3 points more important, rather than the performance, considering that Thursday we've got the big game against Fener. So yeah, it was good to get the 3 points. And the only thing I will say is that his rotation at times just annoys me, or the lack of rotation, especially before the big games. You know, he's rested Bukhalaki, is what I could take out of today. And why would you rest Bukhalaki and not, you know, Madi Camara or, even Tiquinho is rested as well. So yeah, that's the takeaway from today for me. The fact that the rotation probably wasn't there. But at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. So again, I have to agree with Costa.
Well, with Bukhalakis, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? People just as easily get upset when he includes Bukhalaki because they complain about how slow he is with build-up and possession. But then when you don't include him, you see how our midfield opens up because he does close those passing lanes down really well, and that's why he's valued in the starting 11. But Johnny, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked CJ Liaskos, which was, did you see a game plan that was effective by Olympiacos that we enacted and we successfully executed on, or was it that we capitalized on the mistakes of Aek?
It depends whether you buy into the fact that if you think that he tried to contain and absorb pressure, because if you buy into that, then yes, it was tactically genius. But if you don't, then you believe that Aek outplayed us for 75 to 80 minutes of the game, and we just took our chance as well. So for me, it was we took our chances, and we were outplayed. That was my opinion. I didn't really see much of our interplay. Our passing, we were getting pressed pretty high. And from the moments that I saw of their interpassing, it was their final third that was lacking. So I think if you stick El Arabi or Tiquinho in their side, it makes a difference.
I'm just going to read the stats from the game. This is interesting. So both teams had 10 shots attempted. Aek had 4 on target. We had 7 shots on target. 1 hit the post. They had 11 corners. We had 6. This is interesting. We had 18 fouls. They had 11. Normally, we're softer. Or does that only happen against PAOK? Some reason we go kind of wishy-washy into PAOK games. But we had 18 fouls today. So, you know, they were kind of up for it. At least we had more fouls than them, breaking up play.
Yeah.
But they had 56% possession and we had 44 possession, guys.
Yeah. From what I saw, I thought our midfield was trying to break up the play a lot more. Whether it was in Villa or Agibou more so than Muddy. I think most of the people have sort of said it as well, that you can just see the attitude shift since the transfer window, and ever since then the performance not necessarily hasn't been there, but maybe it's just a mentality thing. But look, guys, I'll jump off because I know there's probably heaps of people wanting to jump in, but I really appreciate your time and keep up the great work. I love it.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks,
Take
boys.
care, mate. Have a good day.
Awesome. I want to, before we let the next person on, I want to say something about Mady Camara. I think the nail was hit on the head, but I think he's still valuable because he has moments of brilliance. You know, his maybe the mentality has faded a bit, maybe the decisiveness, but I think he still shows moments of brilliance in those games that none of our other midfielders can show. So even Camara at, what would we say, 75%, I think is better than Pierre Koundé, who I haven't seen much from the limited chances he's gotten. So
maybe just I have one last point in terms of approach and rotation. You know, why didn't Bouchalakis play today? I think actually starting Mady Camara was a better choice in the sense that he's been injured just before the international break, so I think it was good for him to get some rhythm today. I thought that defensively he worked hard today, but you just expect more from him. You expect him to get on the ball and drive the team forward, and that's what we've been lacking, just somebody to take the reins in the midfield. And I just feel like we don't have anybody that's doing that right now. We said before about M'Vila and his condition and how he is after COVID. So yeah, I think you know, in the end he came off, didn't he? Mady came off for Bouchalakis.
Or I think it was.
Was it?
Henry came off for Bouchalakis, and then we did the 4-3-3 for a bit.
I think today was a signal that we're going to go with that, you know, holy trinity in midfield on Thursday. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Bouchalakis and M'Vila and Camara in midfield with Agibou pressing from the wings on Thursday. Just that's my reaction to that.
Yeah. But more to Lambro's point, we don't have another person with the capacity that Mady has. And Koundé, I don't care what the papers said, Koundé is not that mold. Koundé is another 6. So that's not somebody that's going to give us that creativity. There is a midfielder that we have that has the potential to do what Mady does, and he's doing it right now for 2 games in 2nd Division Greece. But I'm not going to spend any time.
Stop it. As if he has shown the potential to do what Mady does. Like, come on, Adi.
He's the closest one. Who else do we have?
Koundé is with one leg could probably, come on. Sourlis is going to play the role of Mady Camara. Are you kidding?
I'm not saying he can do it now.
You said potential, Labro.
I said potential.
I watched the B game and, like, come on, let's pump the brakes real quick. Him and Solakis and the rest of them, we make them out to be kings. I watched them against IL.
Labro.
That's it.
Labro, if they don't play, If they don't play against opposition, they will never develop.
They're playing against IM.
I'm making a
IM
wild.
is a good team. They have first division
finish.
level players.
I'm going to make a wild comparison here, and you can laugh at me as much as you want. But look at Emil Smith-Rowe at Arsenal.
Perfect.
Emil Smith-Rowe at Arsenal is not the same player he was last season. But last season, he got 10, 15, 20 games in the Arsenal first team. He's what, 17, 18? I don't know how old he is. But he's kind of on the same level as Sourlis, same kind of mold, same kind of build. Yes, he's brought up in an English football system and an English football academy, which is miles ahead of where we are. Mm-hmm. But my point is, you see the talent, you've got to let him play. You've got to let him play.
I agree with that.
And if you can't just stick around here and say, "Oh, he's crap." You seen him play? Have you given him a chance? No.
I saw the B team play the whole game, and unfortunately, Marinos, Sourlis, Zoulakis.
We're not talking about Marinos. We're not talking about Zoulakis.
Zoulakis how much we won that game. They had two
clean
shots.
Sheet.
Yeah, clean sheet.
Labro,
I just think we overrate these guys so much. Like we're like, oh, Zoulakis is big, Sourlis is big, blah blah blah.
No,
how much worse are IL than like?
I agree with you, but
like I don't.
What do you what do you base that off of? What are you basing this off?
Watching them play. I don't think they're.
What did you watch? What did you watch?
I watched the whole.
Tell me what you watched.
I've seen them play.
You watched both BT.
Zoulakis as well. Zoulakis is terrible with the ball at his feet. His handling's poor.
I'm not talking about Zoulakis. We're talking about Sourlis. We're talking about
Sourlis. I've seen a few times. He's fine. He can play against Ionikos. But like,
all we're saying,
but he's not even
playing against
Ionikos.
I think he should play. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We're gonna move on from this. Let's bring the next guest on. I can't.
Guys, also, if I know the links might, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you're having trouble clicking the links and getting in, we tweeted it out as well. So go to our Twitter and it's like the first tweet there, and you can just click from your phone or computer and join in. So that's all I have to say about that. We have a chat message on the screen. I think I'm going to read it out, and maybe we can bring Alex on and get his take on this as well. Hot take. This is from Aris P. Hot take. Our fan base has overrated Mady Camara to a ridiculous extent. He is good, but nowhere near 15 million midfielder quality. I'll go first. This is with all due respect, this is an incredibly reactionary take, and I disagree. I think anyone, like, we've seen Mady Camara for 3 years in this team, and we're going to go back on everything we've said because of a period of 2 months when he obviously hasn't been motivated and was supposed to get his big move. No, he is 15 million is, I would say, a perfectly fair number for Mady Camara. People were saying 20s over the summer. Obviously I would take that for him because it's good money for the club. But I think 15 is completely fair. However, if he keeps playing like this, we are going to have to kiss 15 goodbye. He is that level of player. We've seen it. He does it all in the midfield, and he has done for us. He's been one of our key players for the last 3 years. My personal opinion, he's been poor this year, but there are very clear ways to explain that. Anyway, Alex, thanks for coming on. Good to see you again on the show. I guess good morning to you as well.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll give the floor to you since you're here, of course. I don't know if you want to address Mady Camara or if you want to address today's game.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, the whole thing, you know, unwrap it.
Go ahead.
First of all, once again, good morning from Australia. I think I'm the third person today to talk to you from Australia. Now, first of all, we'll talk about the game against Aek. I was looking at the statistics, at the stats, and I just wanted to say that the image of the game and the stats, they sort of reminded me of what Olympiacos plays like at home when they play against a big European team. Like, they have the ball, they have the possession, they have a few chances, like they have a lot of shots on target, but they never really create the big chances. And then they make a few mistakes at the back and they end up losing. So this is what the game reminded me of. Aek seemed really desperate for the win. They seemed like they really wanted it. They really wanted to give something big to their fans, but they got too stressed about it, and that's how we ended up walking away with the victory. But I didn't think that we played well. This was not a good performance. Like, in no point of the game were we able to control the ball, to control the tempo of the game, to be able to inspire confidence. The team wasn't able to inspire confidence to the fans or to itself, which is why I think Martins had to pull out Onyekuru and bring in Bouhalakis in order to better control the game. As for the Camara issue, I think that football is like that. Like, you play well one season and you're up in the heavens, like you're worth 20, 25 million, and then the next season you don't do that good. You're not feeling it, and no one even remembers your name. So it's kind of like that. Yeah.
So. Like I said, like if we had to sell Mari Kamara right now, like his value is gone doon. But hopefully he can find it again or something. Yeah, it happens with many players.
I don't know what the issue is with Mari Kamara. I think that it could also be a bit of fatigue in regards to him, because let's not forget he's been playing consecutively for like a long time. He rarely misses any games for the team. He's been one of the most. He's always been there. So let's not forget, it might also be that issue. Like, you can't always be at the top of your game. There might be a period where your performance drops as well. And I feel it's justified. Mady Camara is one of those players where he is justified to have a drop in performance. Just as long as it goes back up eventually, Yeah.
Alex, I wanted to touch on something that you brought up about 2 minutes ago, about the nature of our possession as a team. And what you touched on is actually really important, because it's why we think the team looks so much more stale than it has in the past, because statistically, everything you said is completely correct. We might have similar amounts of possession, although technically it is less. Every season under Martins, this team has always averaged in all competitions like 58, 59% per game. This season, it's at 54%. Now, go deeper into that and look at the total number of times we're on the ball, our pass accuracy, our match tempo. It is all lower. Every season under Martins, this team is averaging over 500 passes a game, right? That's like the level of that average of passing is in, like, if we look at top leagues, not to compare us to those teams, but to give you guys an idea of the scale, Manchester City does that. They're closer to 600, but that's how often we were on the ball. This year, it's 460 is the average. We're not passing the ball as much, which is indicative of how shitty our interplay is. Not a lot of movement off of the ball, not a lot of 1-2s. So it looks stale. We're used to seeing, especially in that second season, players moving off the ball, running, being on the ball, possessing against teams worth triple our value. And it's not happening this year. We are a team that is sitting back, slower tempo, not passing the ball, moving the ball around, and not having that interplay. That is all at play here. And it's why this team doesn't look so good.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct on that. We don't play our usual passing game, because under Martins, as you said, Ari, under Martins, we're used to having possession of the ball, passing it around, looking for that opportunity, for that gap in the opposition defense. Like tonight, I don't know if I trust this statistic as that much, because I got it off of Google, but we had a bit over 200 passes. That's bad. That's very bad. Despite the fact that we played away from home in front of 40,000 people, yes, all right, that's a small excuse. That's a poor excuse. We don't we don't play the same style, even though we have the same manager. Our style of football has changed, and I don't really see the reason why. There have not been that many changes within the squad. There have been additions, but not that many players have left. So I don't really know what's going on. It's really difficult to explain why these changes have been happening and what's really going on. It's strange. It's a strange issue, and we've seen that. We've started the season slow, and we're continuing the season slower. It's not getting better. If anything, the image of the team on the pitch is, if not getting worse, it's remaining the same. It's on the same level. Nothing seems to be improving.
This is part of the problem. Concept Calcio raises a comment. We've talked about it more times than I can remember. It's the fullbacks. It's not difficult. How many times did we used to see, even last season, Rafinha and Holebas getting in behind the defense, and then the winger or Valbuena or somebody would play the ball in behind, through balls for the wing backs to run in and make the crosses into the box. I've seen that so little this year. I think we saw it once or twice whenever Gary Rodriguez has played in front of Lala. And we've seen those kind of darting runs down the wing where you've had another teammate find the winger or the wing back getting in behind. We just don't see that anymore. And one thing that I'm thinking is it one of those things this year where I think that our preseason was complete kaput? Like, I feel like this year we had no preseason, or we had preseason and it just went to shit. He started preseason with a 4-4-2, then Ziquinho got injured, Fortunis got injured.
Yeah, our guy Fortunis got hurt like 30 minutes into the first game. After that, it was.
I mean, you had this. You had all of this stuff going on in preseason when he was trying things, and then all the players that he was trying things with got injured, and then COVID hit the team in a way that the Greek press didn't want to admit. Like, they kept it from people that there was an outbreak in the team. And you know what? There was an interview last week in Protathletis with the gymnast coach, with the physical fitness coach, Mourikis, Christos Mourikis. He gave an interview to Protathletis, and they asked him one of these questions. They asked him, are you worried about the state of the team in terms of their fitness? Like, what's gone wrong? And he said, of course, things will improve. So I do ask myself, is it one of those things where the coach knows that we can't play that kind of football that we've played last season or this season before? And he says, we're going to play like this now because we don't have the energy levels to press high up the field, to play that brand of football that we want to play. And maybe it will get better in 2022. I don't know, but that's something that that's why I'm not full on kind of angry about this season so far. There are so many factors like around the team and what's happened in preseason that, they contribute to what we're seeing now. So I'm keeping a bit of an open mind, not expecting a lot. And as I've said, the level of the league is shit. Let's move on.
On that fullback issue, it both is and isn't. And what I mean is it's a little bit more complicated than that, because we saw last year we had zero overlap ability. As much as Holebas and Rafinha would overlap in their capacity to do so, they didn't overlap to the level that Omar and Tsaboukas did. The difference between last year and this year, Oleg overlaps about 3.5 times as much per game than Holebas did. And that's not throwing shade at Holebas. Holebas did more than what any of us expected he could do. But Oleg does have the overlapping. Now, Kenny Lala is like right around there with Rafinha. But I think part of the problem is it is on the fullbacks still. Yes, we're not getting the production we were out of that same production we were out of Omar and Tsaboukas, but we also, our wing play is not complementary right now to our fullbacks also. And this is a problem because in that third season, we did have wings, maybe not as, we didn't have Podence, but we still had wing play, which was making our overlapping fullbacks, not overlapping, less of an issue. We have shit wing play this year. And this is creating more of an issue because our fullbacks also aren't producing to the level that we want them to. So I think it's a little bit more complicated than just a fullback issue.
Well, personally, I'll say this, and then I'll leave the line for the next guest. I think that in regards to Oleg Rabchuk, that's a difficult name to pronounce in English. I feel that there's a constant, I don't know, it might just be my imagination seeing this, but I feel that he's sort of like the weak link in the team. I feel like all opposition teams target the left wing, the Olympiacos left wing to make their attacks. And he's showing a lot of effort. He's trying. Like, you can't blame him for anything. I just feel like he can't perform on the level that Martins and Olympiacos want him to. He's trying. He constantly tries to give what he can and even more, but he's not up there. In regards to Kenny Lala, on the other hand, I feel that he's shown great improvement from the day that he came to Olympiacos. We saw him tonight. He did really well. He provided an assist and he almost scored a goal. We remember when we got him back in January, he didn't even exist. I mean, Androutsos had the position and we were looking for another substitute in case he got injured. Now Kenny Lala has the right back position and he doesn't even look back. So in regards to the fullbacks, I feel that especially on the left side, something is necessary. Something needs to change. That's my personal opinion. I feel that maybe another addition should be made. I don't know if we could bring back Kutris or if it could be someone else, but I feel that Rabchuk has given all he has to give, and that just isn't enough, unfortunately. So anyway, that's all for me.
I agree so much with that. I agree. Hold on, let me just check. Oleg is technically like one of the worst players I've seen to ever play for Olympiacos. Like, his passing, his crossing, even his dribbling. Like, this guy runs, he defends decently, but god damn it, he is terrible technically. And he's like that little kid who tries so hard and you want him to be good, but at some point we got to say, like,
I know. You see him.
You know what I mean? Like, you love the kid. You're just like, come on. Like,
so
put in a
much
good
effort.
cross. But then he killed a school of birds, and you're just like, well, Oleg, you killed another school of birds. Like, things aren't going great for you.
At the end of the day, it's just not possible. And I think it would be the best, both for him and the team, if they just parted ways on friendly terms, and like, we look for the next player to come in and try and fill in that gap. I mean, he was brought in as a talent, as a hopeful player that could fill in that gap, and it just wasn't able to, and it's a difficult gap to fill. I mean, it's a position that's been left like that ever since Tsaboukas left. And Tsaboukas is a player that, you can't easily replace. So anyway,
Alex,
as I said,
thanks for coming on, mate. Have a good day.
No worries. You too.
See you next time.
All right, folks.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye, Alex. Last chance, folks. If you want to come on, give a little talk. I know we have a lot of people who speak Greek. An milas elinika ine daxi, okay? Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna just maybe get one or two more people on here. I think we have someone in the queue now. So maybe this will be the last one, unless there's a big run-in of people. But it looks like we've got Aggelos coming in here. Oh, Aggelos, you there?
Hello.
Thank you for joining.
Kalispera.
Yes.
How's it going, man?
It's been going pretty good. From the match with Aek, I can't tell that much. I think the previous people told enough. So you called me for the B team.
What did you think about the B team? What did you think about the discussion we started to have about Sourlis? Or maybe not Sourlis, or generally, what were your, who did you like during the B team game? Like, what were your thoughts?
I've been really impressed with the B team. I think with the way they play, it's better than the A team, our basic team. They have a tactic, they have plans, they defend, they attack, they press. I saw Sourlis in particular, he was everywhere, both in defensive, both offensive. And he was the reason we scored. He made a good run. He made the pass to Al Ghassim, and he made the pass to Kosti to provide us the goal. And I was impressed with Marinos, Nikolic. Basically, where we are lacking, I saw people that can replace our players. Marinos especially, I saw him, he made the people in Larissa his customers. He played really well. And yeah.
See, I watched the game too, and I liked Nikolic. And surprisingly, I thought Xenithidis did well as well in the midfield. I think he played decent. But I don't know. I also thought real quick, like people in the newspapers were saying Kinkue is the next big thing and Kinkue is great. Like Kinkue can't make a simple pass. I don't know if it's shown on the field there, but like
he has a very good defensive mindset, but in general, not that good in passing. He needs some improvement, and that's why we have the big team.
Aggelos is really nice. He's like, he needs some improvement. This man couldn't hit a fucking cow's backside with a banjo from 2 meters out. His passing was atrocious. But Marinos looked really interesting the first game, like against Balk. But I saw him like, so we've heard about this guy before. Like he came from Asteras, very highly rated young player. And he looks like he can do a job as an inverted winger, like cutting inside or as an inside forward. But some of his passing as well was just like, what are you doing? Or he'd get the ball on the right-hand side and then drive inside and then just crash into people. So he lacks that kind of experience and decision-making normal in a young player. But I agree he has potential. And guys, okay, it's the second game. These guys have been waiting to play half a year or more in some cases. They're very rusty still. So yeah, man, like I enjoy watching the B team. Aggelos was actually at the game, so it's not the same as watching it on TV, Lambro. But
bravo. Speaking, actually, I will briefly interject, and I promise I will relate this to Olympiacos. Living in Canada, I don't get to watch football in person, at least not good football, very often. But earlier this week on international break, the Canada national team came to town, and it was like negative 17 degrees on Tuesday, and Canada played Mexico, picked up the result 2-0. What a game. And I'll tell you what, folks, for the left back position, I have a name. His name is Sam Adekugbe. He plays in Turkey. Big, huge player, massive player for the Canadian national team. Physical, good on the ball, technical, playing the crosses in, dribbling past people for Mexico. Big player. Get the scouters on him. Sam Adekugbe.
Isn't the Bayern Munich left back?
He plays as second striker for Canada.
Oh wow! Okay,
this is the difference. Davies is Davies actually didn't play super well, to be honest with you, but I still.
Well, it was also negative 17 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Like
Davies was originally a winger Costa and came up as like a left winger. And against Olympiacos was the first game he played left back because they had injuries and he's stuck there. But so he plays like 4-4-2 up top with Jonathan David, who's actually leading Liga in goals right now as well.
Yeah,
I actually like the guy from Besiktas, Kyle Laren.
Kyle Laren scored the brace in the snow and then like jumped into the snow after the goal.
I read in the newspapers that Besiktas wants Henry Onyekuru. Like if we could do a swap deal for Kyle Laren.
Haven't they been trying to trade him for Fortunis for like a few years now?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
no, but anyway. I'm telling you, this left back guy, Sam Adekugbe, is 26 years old. He plays for Hatayspor, who are I think like second in the table right now in Turkey. Second in the table. They're behind Trabzonspor, who obviously have some absolutely gargantuan players in their team, and it's unreasonable to expect anyone to pass them in the table. But yeah, I'm telling you, this kid's a player. You got to get some eyes on him. Get the Y Scout going, Adi. Maybe a deep dive. We can make up some transfer rumors, like maybe like Sport Time picks it up and we like get something going.
Stop. Well, I do have some Y Scout for you, Aggelos. Before we let you go, I do want you to weigh in on this Sourlis situation. Because we had a brief debate before about who on this Olympiacos team would be the closest to be able to produce what Madi does or even offer it. Yanim Villa is an amazing player, but he's a different type of player. Koundé, again, is not a Madi replacement. I see him as something closer to Guilherme. Again, not the type of creative player that Madi is. But so far, in the start of Super League 2, Vasily Sourlis has some statistics that are almost exactly what Madi's were in the first season with us. He's a leader in progressive runs. He's a leader when he gets the ball on a per 90-minute basis, more often than almost any other player. Top 10 in Super League 2, getting the ball forward almost 3 times per game. Madi was the same. Key passes, scoring opportunities. Sourlis creates the most scoring opportunities right now on the B team as a defensive midfielder. That's another thing that Madi used to do for us. Not so much this season, but in previous seasons. Key passes, through passes, progressive passes. Sourlis is doing all of these things that normally we attribute Madi with doing for the A team. And there's one more thing also that Sourlis does. Sourlis is one of the leaders on the Olympiacos B team right now when it comes to one-on-one dribbles. He takes people on constantly. That's another thing that Madi does. And he does this all while maintaining over 90% pass accuracy. Does that not sound like Madi Camara to you?
Well, he played also in the Champions League qualifications.
Yes, he did. That's also correct. Yes.
Well, it's something to point out. Not in the interceptions. I think there Madi has the advantage. But if you give him this year, I think he will shoot the seat perfectly. He has the progressive runs, and I saw him yesterday. He was everywhere. He passed everyone. It was like it wasn't for his league. I think he already has to be not a starter, but as a super sub maybe. Hopefully Martins doesn't substitute him in the 75th minute or the 90th minute, but yeah.
Yeah, but now we're already talking about buying another central midfielder, aren't we? And then we have him playing in the B team. And that really infuriates me, actually. Because it's one thing playing on the weekend and having Xenitidis, Marinos, Kitsos, and whoever, don't mean to belittle anyone in our B team. But it's very different being Sourlis and playing with these guys on Saturday. And it's a whole different proposition when you're surrounded by top professional players. When you fit into a team, it's completely different. So when I start reading things like, we're going to sign some French player that's 26 years old or some guy from Germany like Bentaleb who's crocked his knee twice, and we've got this 18-year-old fantastic talent in our B team, that really pisses me off.
Yeah, he has the experience too. He has played with the basic team. When it was the last match from the championship 2 years before, when we beat Aek 3-0, there was his start. He got substituted in the last minutes, and I didn't watch the match, but I read that he was playing well. So he has the experience of the Super League 1, so he can play easily. If you give him this year, he will sign. I believe it.
Yeah. He should at least play. He can play against most of the teams in the league, but Yeah. Well, Aggelos, I'm very jealous you get to go watch the games in person for the B team. And I'm sure it's quite fun to be able to go. But,
send us videos. Stila Mascano videos.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, mate.
Well, have a good night, Aggelos. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
You too. Vamos Olympiacos.
Yeah, so Aggelos.
So I was a bit harsh on the B team, but we were talking about. Hold on, I can explain why I was a bit harsh, because we were talking about the Greek mentality, about how Greeks get mad and blah blah blah, and then it's the same shit. How we're just like every young player is the next big thing and blah 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 blah. That's it. I think they're better off going for a run in the Netherlands than playing against AEL with Manolis Bertsos or whatever his name is, just like absolute leg breakers of footballers. They're shocking.
Well, Lambro, I'd rather them. I mean, they can play against like Asteras Tripolis instead of.
But also, this is better than like what we had in the past. Like, and we get to watch them on TV. Like
back in the past, when all of these players just like they're like all Bigfoot. Like nobody knows if they're real. Like you never see anything about them. Like we're all like, oh, they're the biggest player, and then they just get like released by the club. Like
exactly. Like what was his name?
Martinez.
Everyone was saying
next
like
Tsaboukas, and then it's like Martinez has been released on his contract.
Where does he even play football? Like he was cut.
Didn't Aris add him?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they saw him train for like 30 minutes and were like, yeah, it's time to go. He plays for Panathinaikos B team now, Peter.
Unreal. He's gonna like Martinez revenge tour when he plays the Olympiacos B team. Anyway, guys, I think we've done a long one already, so maybe it's time for man of the match and coach's grade, people. I feel like El Arabi is already pretty unanimous man of the match. I don't know if anyone. I actually know Adi's gonna be like, well, I thought it was Fortunis.
I said from the beginning, El Arabi is my man of the match. You would have to do a lot of shit to score 2 goals and not be man of the match in a game like this.
Do any of you guys? There's a comment coming from Aris P. Do you guys remember Leandro and Vanderson? I do remember them. I think Vanderson was a winger. He played a 10 as well, and Leandro was a centre back, but they never played. I think they may have played like a cup game.
Vanderson, I remember it felt like every few months he was something else. Because like there was the one time, he's a number 10. He also can play wing. Then I remember in the winter hearing, Vanderson actually can also be purposed as a deeper center mid. But then I don't think we ever saw him play outside of friendlies.
They never played. I think Vanderson went on to play for like a team that was at the bottom of the Super League or something. Yeah. But yeah,
there was going to be great.
Alexander Dacot. Anyone remember Alexander Dacot?
You know what's going to be great is when we can be like 20 years from now, like we're all old, and it's just like, remember Bruno?
Shut up, Peter. Remember Bruno? Are you kidding me right now?
Remember Cafu?
You know, people are like clamoring for Cafu to come back. People are like, Cafu needs to come back in January.
He scored that one banging goal against Panathinaikos in like garbage time. Do you guys remember that? Like,
I remember. No fans. And then I gave him like the best going away, like Cafu. Remember my like minute or 3 minutes of like Cafu love?
Yeah.
Like I can't do another one of those. Like those are once in a lifetime for players.
Remember Bruno Gaspar?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I still think
Arsenal. He played against Arsenal in that famous victory as a left winger.
As a left winger. Do you remember that? Oh my God.
What a legend. International
he
player.
skied one. Just poof. Yeah.
Oh, another scouting note from Aggelos. Something I forgot to tell you. Watch Mavroudis, as he has nice short passing and some decent ball control.
The midfield was the best part of the team. The midfield was easily the 3 guys who were. Xenithidis, I'm telling you again, Xenithidis will play in the Super League like for his career. I don't think he'll make it in Olympiacos, but shut up, Costa. Like Xenithidis is gonna be a big Apollon player one day. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna give Pedro Martins an A- for tonight. I'm man of the match. Kavlara B. And a shout out to Baby Camara for tonight. We ride. I was very negative post Frankfurt. and I'm done being negative. It's time to support the team. If they lose against Fener, we can start discussions, but
I'm done being negative for one game.
I'm done being negative. I'm going to kill them.
Anyway, like it's we're going to go for the big win on Thursday, and we have a pregame announcement. We're going to be doing a pregame with a special guest.
Oh yeah, Costa.
Rezan Yetish is back this Wednesday. Lovely lady from Istanbul. She was with us for the last preview for the Fener game away. She'll be back with us on Wednesday the coming week to preview the home game against Fenerbahce. She's a sports broadcaster in Turkey, very knowledgeable. Wonderful to have a female on the show, I have to say. No offense, guys. So yeah, there will be a match preview this Wednesday. We'll be live. Don't miss that one, guys. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell next to it as well so that you know when we're going live. Coach's grade, I'm going to give Martins a B, guys. It's a win. But again, frustrated with just how slow he is with the subs. I think some subs could have come sooner. Yeah, so B for me. El Arabi, clearly man of the match. But I agree with Lambro. I think Aggelos deserves a good shout out. It was a banging goal at the beginning. Fantastic goal.
B for me as well. Same reasons you said, Costa. Shout out to Christensen as well. Lambro did well on the bench today.
It's time, baby. It's time for Christensen to get some game time because this guy Vaclik, I'm telling you, something's not right with this man. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. He's going to screw us again. I just know he is. Like, Christensen, has he ever screwed us? No. Has he ever played a big game? No. But this doesn't matter. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Anyway.
All right, Adi, what's your coach's grade here?
I'm gonna also give a B. Again, it's a tough win. It was a great win. Martins's his moves come too slow. Unacceptable that at 84 minutes our only sub to that point had been Bukalakis. I'm still concerned, even though I think it was a great win. I'm still concerned about the same patterns that we see going into this game against Fenerbahce. I am worried about this game against Fenerbahce because I'm worried about how slow it takes Martins to react. It's not his inability to react, it's his apprehension to react. That's what worries me. And it concerns me for all of those reasons. I am concerned about our inability to create in the final third still. I don't know if we're going to be able to capitalize on however many mistakes we can get Fenerbahce to make, assuming we can get them to do that again. I'm worried, but those are my concerns going forward. My man of the match is also Youssef El Arabi, 2 goals, solid finishing. And then I'm going to give also a shout out to Kenny Lala. I thought he had a great game, and that lovely, lovely ball to El Arabi for that second goal was just fantastic. He had a couple of solid plays today, solid balls forward. And we shit on him a lot, and I think it's only appropriate that we also commend him for his good games.
Well, there we go, folks. I think that's about all we've got for today. So thank you very much for listening, especially if you've made it this far. Thanks, big extra thanks to everybody who's come on today and given us their thoughts. We'll try to do that more, especially after these games. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. If you're on YouTube, if you're on audio, I believe most platforms you can subscribe as well, so you never miss us. And last, MANSCAPED, 20% off with code G7INTL, limited time only, folks. You got to do it now. As soon as we're done recording, go to manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping. Adi, I think you have one last thing for us.
We do. We have one more huge shout for you guys. We're just told we're now allowed to finally tell you. December 4th, Saturday, December 4th, which is almost exactly 2 weeks from now. It's actually 13 days from now. Olympiacos is having an academy showdown in New York. It'll be Saturday, December 4th. It is a clash of the academies. Olympiacos DC's UPSL team, the men's team that competes in 4th Division USA, as well as Olympiacos New York's men's team, are going to be squaring off on Saturday, December 4th. I believe the match is going to kick off at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that is 11:30 at night Greek time. That's 23:30, right? Greek time. I'm right.
That's right.
They're 7 hours ahead right now. So it's really huge. There's from the talks, there's going to be a lot of people there. And there's going to be some interesting guest appearances, both physical and digital. So we will tweet out more information as we are allowed to get more information out there. But this is going to be huge. I am going to be doing my best to be there as well. If I can get there, I'll be doing plenty of Insta Live and stuff for that as well. It should be a really, really good time. The stadium they have there is beautiful. And we'll also be linking up with the Olympiacos New York fan club.
Guys, this gives a whole new meaning to hashtag Oli Oli. Shout out to the PAOK fans from last year when we played Addis in the league. Anyway, this time it's actually Oli Oli. Anyway, Costa, finish it off for us. I think you've got one more.
Yeah, just a really short one. So Pedro Martins did a Q&A on Instagram like a week, or was it more than a week?
I think it was a week or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So we asked Marina Tsali, the Olympiacos translator, like, what's up with the Q&A. Thank you, Marina. Marina wrote back to us just 5-10 minutes ago. She says the coach's social media team is editing and it will be posted right away. So
Marina,
that's
legend.
That's coming soon. Looking forward to that. We certainly sent in quite a few questions. I'm sure like a lot of our listeners did as well. So it's coming.
Let's go. Big shouts to Marina doing the big work, translating all those different languages. Let's go. Hope we see the results soon. I'm sure Martins just got so many goddamn messages, didn't know what to do with them. But anyway, folks, we'll see you twice. Actually, we've got the preview with Rezan now, and then right after the game on Thursday. So we will see you twice during the week, and then once again on the weekend. So let's go Olympiacos. Huge game coming up. Like Lambro said, let's keep it positive for the next few days here. And it's going to be exciting. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. And we will see you very soon.
You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you will never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL. Give us a subscribe on YouTube or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.